Right into the open today. Welcome to No Tie July as we begin a conversation with our Chief of Police, TJ Morse Jr. here. And it's been a busy few weeks here during the summer. You've had a graduation going on, started another academy, but there's some other news going on as well. We'll come back to those two things. I want to begin by asking you most recently about the officer-involved shooting that was in the news this weekend. I know that this is under investigation now, but is there anything about this that you can say as we begin?
So very early in the investigation still, with it just happening over the weekend. I will say that I've reviewed the body cam footage and we're gonna be very transparent and get that out there as soon as we can. Let the family, if they want to have the opportunity to look at it, but then release it to the public. Looking at the body cam footage, my heart goes out, of course, to the family, because anytime anybody loses their life, it's just a tragic situation. But the officers were put in a very tough situation where they went in with every good intention using their training. We do hundreds and hundreds of hours of de-escalation and dealing with mentally ill and people that are on substance abuse, those kind of things. So they went into the situation trying to deal with it to do that. And then within 9 seconds, we're presented with a situation where they had to defend their lives, or this person was going to critically injure them or try to kill them.
How long does this process typically take?
So it can range, right? Of course, everything from, we got to wait for coroner's report, which, that could be a month to get a lot of the information, but we're going to try to get a lot of this stuff, including the body camera footage, out as quick as we can. Looking at it, putting it together concisely, 2 different officers, 2 different body cameras. Some of the stuff we have to blur out, some personal information that we're going to have to not include, but try to get that out as fast as we can.
Let's talk a little bit about recent news concerning budget cuts at BRPD. This is actually not brand new. People are talking about it again, but you have been in this process, this cycle, for a little while. There is an adjustment in city parish budgets because of the break off of St. George, and that's impacted BRPD to the tune of about $9 million. There was an article in The Advocate this weekend that talked about mounted patrol, some of the free parade services you guys have provided, and I believe, what was the other one? ShotSpotter went away because of the budget cuts. Where are you in that process? How are you calibrating based upon the lost revenue?
So it's interesting, right? I mean, it doesn't take a business major to see that we're being asked to provide the same services with less resources. And that's really, really hard to do. So we've had to get creative in how we're patrolling and what our officers are doing. But our officers are stepping up to the task this year. With the budget cuts, most of them are making, your average officer is making less money this year than they did last year because of the cuts in holiday pay and overtime that they're having to do. But they're doing more with less. They're still responding to the calls, still our crime numbers are down, they're still providing very quality service. So we're continuing to have conversations with the mayor's office and with other just community stakeholders. What does we look like moving forward? Are we going to be able to get some more money in our budget, or are we going to have to make some significant adjustments, like where we provide officers for free when we're looking at parades and runs and all these other community events that we do? That's just overtime dollars coming out that we're not budgeted for.
Well, I mean, and I think that's probably in the list, the one that people would understand the most, giving away free services based upon where you are money-wise. But are there any other areas that you'd like to give us a heads up on that could be going away if this hole is not plugged?
I mean, we're going to really have to look at, right now we're 150 officers short, right? And so
wait, what?
Over 150 officers short.
Okay.
We're at 540 when we're allotted 696, right? So 156 officers short. A lot of that has to do with our pay when you're looking at the surrounding areas, making a lot more money than us at starting off. So it's an area we need to look at for recruiting. If we don't do something with that soon, we're at kind of a critical point with being that short in officers, where we're moving, and that's the officers that respond to your 911 calls, to just driving around, and to the detectives, and just all the back scene services and everything. We're short in every position everywhere in the department. So we got to have those conversations too, so we can get our pay attractive, where we can get more officers in, or we're going to have to look at what we do next, because we're kind of at a critical mass when we're looking at a shortage in officers.
So what's being said at the city hall and the city council level about this? Because public safety is such a big topic of discussion here, but it's harder to do when you don't have enough officers.
Right. So working well with the mayor's office, they're doing their thing with the Thrive plan, trying to relook at some of the budget stuff to increase those holes in our budget when we're looking at just, hey, if we want to do a special operation for drag racing over the weekend. That's overtime money that we don't have. And so how are we filling those holes in our budget to try to buy better equipment, to pay the officers what they need to be paid?
I mean, it's just so interesting. How is morale at the department? I know that the men and women of BRPD are working hard to patrol and police this city, but it's got to be tough when you're looking one parish over at what people are making, and obviously at state police. How is the morale of the men and women on your department?
No, so right now the morale is good, right? I would say that they're anxiously awaiting to see what happens in November. Right now it's been kind of everybody just, tighten your belt, and I asked them to do more with less, and they've stepped up to the plate and they're doing it. I don't like to talk about crime stats. I don't like to jinx a game in the middle of the game, anything like that. But I do bring it up because it shows the great work that the men and women of the Baton Rouge Police Department are doing with using technology as a force multiplier, or just putting in more hours, or whatever they're having to do to step up to make up for the 150 people that were short.
When this investigation into this shooting is done, has been completed, can we get you back to kind of talk through that, and then what you've learned, and if or how it impacts best practices at BRPD?
Yeah, of course. Would love to do that. Like I said, the officers were putting what I've seen on the body cam footage, and I don't want to put the cart before the horse because it's a very early investigation, but they acted appropriately and within their training.
Police Chief TJ Morse Jr. Coming back, I guess, in a few weeks, hopefully not too long, to talk about this most recent incident. Back in just a moment with the mayor of St. Gabriel, and here's contact information if you're interested in being on the show. Back with the mayor of the city of St. Gabriel, Dr. Lionel Johnson Jr., recently minted doctor over there.
Sir.
Appreciate you, man. We've had the opportunity to serve together on a roundtable for the business report maybe the last 3 years.
3 years, yes, sir.
And first time getting him to come in here. He did do Latangela's show first, but that's okay. Tangi's all right. But before we get into what's happening in St. Gabriel, you guys had some news over the weekend with the murder of one of your police officer, and then some of the subsequent stuff that's come out after that. Any thoughts on all of that?
Yeah, man, it's a tough situation. We're dealing with the loss of the captain of our uniform patrol, a beloved guy by the community. Everybody knew him, everybody loved him. To die in that manner is just unbelievable. And then, of course, what hit yesterday in terms of the allegations of what was going on in his personal life.
Right.
So we're starting to unpack all of that and deal with it. But, as a community, as a city, and as a police department, we have to move forward.
Yeah.
My focus now is on the people who I saw yesterday morning when I walked into the police department, when I walked into the dispatch room, when I walked into the squad room. I saw grieving people, right? And so my focus now is ensuring that those individuals are good and that we are still able to provide law enforcement at a high rate.
Yeah, so how do you go about doing that in the event of something like this? Many of the men and women there have worked with the captain for a number of years, and then everything going on with it, it has to have an impact on them. What's your process to keep their spirits high or get their spirits higher? Right.
So look, not just the captain. In the last 4 months, we've had 3 direct losses with the police department and 1 indirect loss with the police department. And so we're reaching out. There has been some, but we'll seek to do more grief counseling, professional counseling, finding leaders within the ranks and doing more development with them, asking Chief to work with us and cooperate with us as we put a little bit more love and support into our police department.
You've been the mayor there since 2011?
2011, yes, sir.
And in that time, there's been a lot of evolution there. There's been talk about where a new bridge would go and potentially through there. And then some of the other expansions you've seen. Your population is held steady. I think you're around 6,500 citizens in the city of St. Gabriel. What's happening over there for people who may not be paying attention to what's happening over there in Iberville?
Oh, man, great things are happening in St. Gabriel. And, we have to be our biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
We have to tell our story. Nestled in between Baton Rouge and Gonzales, we are what I call deliberately growing. We've had about a 1% growth each year in population. We actually are the largest municipality in Iberville Parish now, based upon the 2020 census. And personally, I believe we are greater than that because I don't think all of our people actually participated in the 2020 census with all that was going on. But a lot of programs, a lot of partnerships. We are agriculture, we are petrochemical, We are developing residentially by leaps and bounds, and now we are focusing our economic development on retail.
Yeah.
A lot of community programs. We've opened up a center where we deal with the social aspect of helping our people, partnerships with local plants, with the library. We have a lot of great things going on.
I mean, I don't think people realize the city was only incorporated in 1994,
That's
and there's
right.
been a tremendous amount of growth in that 31-year process. I referenced earlier the bridge and the potential of a bridge going there.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about that, man.
So listen, if it happens, I believe it would be a great thing.
Yeah.
It would just open us up for that retail development that we're looking for, and also give us a permanent spot, if you will,
Right.
on the map. Now, I understand that financially and possibly politically, it may be some years.
Yeah.
So now my particular focus is on 4-laning Highway 30.
Yeah.
It would be great for St. Gabriel if EBR, Iberville, Ascension, and state of Louisiana could come together and we 4-lane Highway 30, I believe, from LSU to Gonzales.
Look, it would take a lot of pressure off some of the other areas. Now, look, I want you to come do the podcast. When we
Yes, sir.
sit upstairs in the podcast studio, we have more time to talk not just about what's happening in St. Gabriel, but I've gotten the opportunity to hear this man's perspective on leadership.
Yes, sir.
Because we talk about that in the roundtable. So can we set that up?
Definitely.
I think you still owe me a steak, too.
I do.
All right, Mary Stein is next to talk about the Summer of Reading at EBR Library System. And here's where you can catch the show, streaming every Friday morning and on Plus, Friday night at 7, replaying Saturday at 3. Oh, I got one of my favorite people here, Mary Stein with the EBR Library System, talking about the summer reading programs happening there. A few things we want to get into, not just reading for kids. You've got a business series going on at the library system and other things too. But let's start with the Summer Reading Challenge. Tell me about that.
Summer Reading Challenge is for everyone.
All right.
Littles, whether you're reading to them or they're independent readers, and that's the serious meat of it because we need to keep them reading or
Right.
they'll slide
Yep.
back and they won't be ready for school, which is starting not too long
Like that.
from now.
Right.
So the Summer Reading Challenge for the littles, the teens, but the adults said, hey, where's ours?
Yeah.
And I'm like, isn't reading its own reward? Oh no, they wanted to earn incentives too. So everyone's
Wait,
a winner.
what incentives? I read. What incentives do you get?
You will earn your patriotic bag for the summer. You will earn library swag that goes with our theme, Color Our World. And then, of course, you earn the right and the privilege to attend hundreds of fabulous free programs taking place at all 15 of our beautiful branches.
I love that. And let's talk about the business series that's happening.
Yes.
Now, as we tape today's episode, there was one today about marketing for people in business. But tell me about where this started and what you hope to accomplish
Sure.
with it.
We're actually working with local business owners. We're working with Stuart Gilly of the Business Alliance. And basically, he's kind of the impresario or the producer here because the library's got fabulous resources for small business, for careers, for skills development. But librarians are not business people. And so Stuart is finding subject matter experts from the business community and bringing them in, and we're talking about how will you use these resources. So it's the real deal, y'all. It's free, of course. And we have two, the one as we're taping is on marketing, and we are taping it, so it will be available on the library's YouTube channel, just like the Career Center's wonderful things are available. So by next week, that'll be available. So if you missed it or you want to go back and check, that's there. But our small business librarians, I like to say librarians are standing by. They will do your one-on-one with you, and we don't care whether it's summer, spring, winter, or fall. So that is a resource for you here in East Baton Rouge.
I love it. I love it. So do you have book discussion classes at the library?
We do.
Yeah,
we
do you really?
We do. And it's everything from, I used to be in the murder mystery one, and we killed people at lunch. There's fantasy.
Not literally.
No.
The chief just left. Not
That's
literally.
right. That's right. It's through the pages of a book, so it's safe.
That's right.
And no one was harmed. But we have that. We have things for teens, little kids, history, science fiction, fantasy.
History.
Yeah. So it just depends. These kind of community interest groups kind of bubble up. And some of them start themselves, and some of them we kind of curate. So they're listed in the newsletter, and we're always looking for some more. The Great Books are meeting at one of the branches, our New South branch. They're trying to figure out what their thing is going to be. But there are so many ways to get interesting books to read. We'll help you.
I love it. I'm working my way through one right now, and it's really by Mel Robbins. It's really good. I was just telling my son there. I just finished Marcus Aurelius's Meditations.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it was a little. Yes, it was
That's
difficult.
heavy.
Yeah, but we got through it.
And the thing about Marcus Aurelius and some of these other fabulous classics is it's all relevant.
It is all relevant. And so I think it's, look, my daughter especially is the most voracious reader in the entire family.
Wonderful.
She just gobbles books up right and left. It's amazing. She's already read the one I'm in right now, but I won't let her tell me anything about it.
Okay, right. No spoilers.
I encourage people to not only read to their kids, but invite them. And I love turning pages. So look, Mary's going to come back and we're going to talk about our partnership with her and the Inspiration Center. It's going to be great. We'll reveal that to you in weeks to come. Back in just a moment. And the C-Suite, guys, you can check it out. Oh, here we go. Don Juan's doing an event next Thursday the 17th, 4 to 7 p.m. Well, the summer's been busy and hot, and young people are looking for things to do. Earlier this summer, Dr. A.B. Hunter had her Elite Mentorship Academy with kids here in EBR, and it's something that I think is very important. First, tell me about the camp, and then let's talk about the value of mentorship.
Yes, so we held the academy 4 days, June 12th through the 15th at the Embassy Suites Hotel in Baton Rouge. And when I tell you it was 4 days filled with fun, excitement, mentorship, empowerment, enlightenment, and experiences. And so we had youth from across the city, as well as some from out of state, to come in and participate in the program. And so during those 4 days, students were able to experience riding in limousines. They dined at 5-star restaurants. They were able to learn how to build and fly drones. They also participated in workshops that taught them about life skills, how to budget, how to become more self-aware of their actions. So it was just 4 days filled with excitement and fun.
Well, you know, I wanted you to talk about what the camp was, but also now the value of mentorship, because we see how it offsets some of the activities kids get into with all the violence and everything happening on the street. So I'd like you to talk about the value of investing in these young people that way.
Yes, when we talk about return on your investment, that is so important. There's nothing more powerful than mentorship. Kids need a champion. They need that one individual that don't mind taking the time out with them to hear them. A lot of times we don't listen. We're so busy talking at that we don't talk with. And so it's so important for the children to have someone, a caring adult, that will take the time to listen to them, to give them guidance, and to give them hope.
Tell me about the Back to School Bash you got coming up in August.
Yes, so we're super excited about the Back to School Bash. A.B. Hunter will be partnering with Chase Bank, and we will host some financial literacy classes for the youth as well as the parents. They will receive free backpacks filled with school supplies.
Come on now.
Super exciting time of the year. And then I will be presenting sessions on peer pressure, because we know that that's very important going back into the school year, as well as conflict resolution.
So you're going to come back and talk about that before. What's the date on it?
It'll be August 10th.
All right, so we'll
August
get you
10th.
back before then.
Yes.
All right,
yes.
okay, all right. Well, thank you, Doc.
Thank you so much for having me.
And look, this weekend, guys, there is Neighborhood Fest taking place right here in Baton Rouge, and a friend of the program, one of Baton Rouge's finest, Henry Turner Jr. is here talking about Neighborhood Fest, looking as cool as a new Ice Cube. And let's talk about the event at the Goodwood Library this weekend.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about the event. This is the second year. And we're adding some components. We got like some bouncy houses for the kids this time, because Neighborhood Fest, we had a lot of kids last time. And we wasn't ready for them. Wasn't totally ready. But this time we got a hot dog eating contest.
You have a hot dog eating contest.
If you want to get in,
I have a veteran of hot dog eating contest in master control right now. I'll tell you about it after the segment.
Okay.
I literally didn't make that up, Alyssa. That just happened. So, but go ahead.
And there's a car show.
Okay.
Right? So we got that happening, and then there's films inside that's going to start about 1 o'clock. It's going to be about some neighborhoods and some cool stuff. And, full music lineup, as usual, and then.
It's going to be great. So who's all performing? I know you're going to be doing your thing out there.
I'm doing my thing. We got some of the listening room all-stars there, and then we have a great relationship with Reverb Nation, so they send us some bands and stuff. To see really how it breaks down, though, you got to go to the website, neighborhoodfest.org.
And there's the ad. It's from noon to 8 p.m., so you can go out early, spend the whole day, or go that afternoon if you've got something going on.
Absolutely.
And so this is a free event?
Absolutely.
And so, man, Goodwood Library, plenty of parking out there. Yeah. And then you'll be playing. You're going to do a little something for us here as we go out.
Of course.
Neighborhood Fest taking place this weekend, Goodwood Library, noon to 8 p.m. Make sure you go. Henry Turner Jr., you can go on and get it going. Right. Listen, the C-Suite next week, we mentioned it earlier in the show, will be a conversation with Dr. Bill Cassidy about what's been happening in Washington, D.C. Y'all have a great weekend.
So this is a song I penned because I'm starting to see the world as one neighborhood. So we put this one together for that particular purpose, right? And I want to just sing a few lines of it.